definitely we come in towards the end after costing closure, after intercompany processes and whatever. So the type of journals that we do, for instance, for AGA Pty Limited, these are like your standard journals. It relates to our CORMs, which we've got a post-retirement benefit asset as well as liability that we just do process unwinding on that for at your quarter ends or at your financial year end periods. Once we get actuarial valuations, we will then review those models and then process those kind of journals. But what happens on a monthly basis for both entities, we would process lease journals, but obviously that would, dependent on whatever it is that you do with regards to NOMOS. Our deferred compensation is also something that we have a look at. And once again, that's got to do with our Harmony deferred consideration. So that's more dependent on when we get information from Harmony, when anything in the model changes. And then we will obviously just account for that asset, the change in the asset, whether it be upwards or downwards. And that normally happens at your period ends. We've got the silicosis provision, which refers to the silicosis lawsuit that we have. So on a monthly basis, we might process unwinding on that. But once again, that also after actuarial valuation, that's stuff that we change up or down depending on what the result was at that point in time at your reporting end. So most probably only at year end or maybe twice a year at 6 months and at the year end. The thing that I do monthly, it relates to your share scheme costs. So I'm not too sure where you are in that process. So the costing entity will post an amount to OCI, which relates to the share scheme cost, and then I will charge out that via intercompany. So that's a one journal on a monthly basis. And then, yeah.
So this is when your month closes, is workday 6?
Yes, I would say 7 at most, yeah.
Workday 6 or 7, okay.
Yes.
And here, most of the journals you are processing are the last day of, means when you start month close.
When the information comes, it's basically after costing is closed or whatever. So as I said, it's more towards the end or when the information is available.
Okay. So can I
But
say that
definitely
you
more
start
towards, I would
processing?
say 30th or first, because my the posting key I have in SAP is special auth, so I tend to be able to post a little bit later as it's more your balance sheet entries. It doesn't affect your costing per se.
Yes, yes. So basically, your high pressure thing starts with workday 1 and keeps on increasing
Ye-
until the time workday 6. Is it true?
Yes, yes. So 1 to
Okay.
6 is my time to shine.
And which is the most toughest day for you? Is it the workday 5, workday 4?
I would say 5 because then for some reason, someone was naughty and ended up putting through things or whatever. But yeah, I would say it's 5.
Okay.
6 tend to be strangely enough quite easy.
Yes, yes. 6 is
Okay.
basically kind of closure. It's just to
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So do you have a
Okay.
month close checklist also, Tracy, which you
Yes,
follow?
I do. I do.
Okay, and that is maintained in Excel.
Yes, in Excel.
Okay, and that checklist is your own checklist, or is it provided
It's my
by?
own. It's my own that I've just to ensure that I don't forget anything. But I mean, after a while, you do know what is expected and you just go through it yourself. But then I just go through and see that I've ticked all the boxes.
Yes, definitely. And do you circulate this checklist to anyone so that they aware about your timelines? That
No, no, because I mean, we tend to work quite well together, I would say. And the advantage that I have having worked with a team quite well is once something comes up, and as it occurs, they tend to not just be focused like on their areas. Like, I mean, the treasury team, AP team, they're quite exceptional in that manner. If they notice something that's slightly out of the ordinary that will have an impact on me, they would tend to kind of flag it to me and say, either give me a call or forward me an email and just say, just take a note, if this pops up or whatever. So from that
yeah.
perspective, I think we're quite collaborative in that
So
regard.
collaboratively, if I try to go, who are the tell me something about dependencies where you are dependent on inputs of others, and that's Yeah.
Yes,
Who
I
you are
would
dependent
say
on.
from a corporate backer, AGA Pty Limited, a big dependency of mine is my corporate costing schedule. So that is basically after the costing is closed to just then kind of like map that to my HFM pack to be able to do that. The rest of the stuff I can kind of do independently and go into SAP and do things that way. Yeah.
So
And also
costing is the
because
main.
payables as well as treasury,
Okay.
they tend to close a little bit earlier. So that would have done. But I think the costing allocation tends to be that final leg for me before my submission.
Yes, yes. And do you have any kind of spreadsheet where you know who are the input providers for those? I mean, your checklist contains those things, that this is a
Okay.
list, who is the input provider, this is a due date, etc.
No, no,
Okay.
no. As I said, I kind of, how shall I say it with regards to my timelines? I kind of, there's an
Remember it.
element of flexibility built in there when it comes, because you know what? Just in case something happens, let me put it that way. So, I tend to, where I could get ahead of a process, I get ahead of a process. I don't tend to say, well, this is the working day and whatever. So whatever I can do ahead of a timeline and have a deadline, I do that, to also to kind of like give a bit of leeway and play around. So it's not too pressured at the end of the day. So
Yes. You
if
manage
if a
it. Yeah.
process is able to be completed, I do that. And then, in that instance, I kind of provide a bit of a gap should anyone that I'm dependent on be a little bit late.
Yes, yes. Means that there is no tracking as such. Like this is somebody who
N-
is providing the late input always.
No.
Do you have those kind of trackings?
No, but I have to say and give it to my colleagues. They are quite prompt. They're good at what they do.
Okay. Eh, very good, very good. Okay. Tell me something about the policies and all. Do you have any general entry policy where it shows that type of journals and details of the thresholds, who should be the approvers, supporting documents, any kind of policy you have?
Not really a policy per se, but I mean, I think when it comes to journals, the importance is um, your segregation of duties. And I mean, I, for instance, don't have both a posting and parking key for
Okay.
any of the entities. So, for instance, P2I Limited, I can post journals, but I definitely can't park them.
Yes.
And for PLC, I can park them, but I can definitely
Not
not
post.
post them. And as I said, with regards to me, as I'm not too journal intensive, it's your standard journals, not for instance like with costing guys or people who deal with intercompany, because they've got like a range of journal codes and whatever that they need to be cognizant of. So yeah.
Okay. How many total journals you are processing approximately in the
What, in a monthly basis?
in the monthly basis?
Are we now talking about corporate?
Yes, it means your team
Yeah,
is
yeah.
processing.
Corporate, I would say standard 7 at your quarter ends and year ends, due to, as I said, those are the times when you do like your actuarial valuations, your change in estimates and things like that. You could look at an additional maybe 5. I would
Quarterly.
say, yeah, 5,
So
yeah.
I would think maximum 15.
15.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
But
yes. Yeah, we can put it at 15.
Okay.
sorry, can I just ask
Yes,
a question, Tracy Lee? So,
yes.
journal is not a journal in my mind. So, how many line items are typically on this journal? Is it one on one or is it one and many?
Uh, Majority of them is like one-liners. There's some that has two-liners, but
Okay.
they definitely not many unless we get to PLC UK. As I said,
Okay.
corporate is kind of straightforward. Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right. Thank you.
good question, Johan. And about the template, you are using the standard template for those journals, right?
Yes,
The
I
Excel.
am.
And
Yes,
that
I am.
template is linked to SAP, means SAP understand that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. In which version of SAP you are using? Is it SAP ECC version?
I think it's ECC production. Don't ask me of the
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
Is
not
ECC.
it?
that
Yeah.
clued up on the, yeah.
It's
it
standard, Vineet. It's standard across the
Yeah.
group.
okay.
It's
So
ECC.
this one,
The
Johan,
yeah.
ECC versions are 740?
Yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, that's across
Okay.
the whole group. Yeah. It's just Sukari is not on Sukari's on SAP for HANA, but they're going to move back onto ECC by the end of the year. My understanding.
Okay, so it's the ECC standard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm assuming this all is same, Tracy. Like when you have some incorrect entry in the journal, SAP rejects
That's when
it.
you'll go and rectify. But as I said, from a corporate perspective, I'm not too much involved in that, because when something is incorrect there, I would say it's more from a costing perspective that they do the reallocations. Like, for
Mhm.
instance, if it was put against the wrong cost center or something and they need to take it to another cost center. So that wouldn't necessarily sit with me. I would say that would be more like costing. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
So yes, Ron's our team basically, right? So
Yes, yes,
yes,
yes,
yes.
yes,
We spoke
yes.
with them and they mentioned a lot of journals
Yes,
approximations.
yes.
Yes, yes. Very good. So about the dependencies you mentioned about that these are the people who are dependent on and they close
Mm.
it, you start the process to close it
Yes,
as
yes,
well.
that's correct. So it would be a lot, as I said, depending on costing. That they one of my major dependencies,
Yes.
as well as from the rest would then be external. As I said, as I said, the CORMs, the deferred compensation and silicosis, that's external information. And then, whoever the specialist is responsible for said model or whatever, they would
Mhm.
then provide the information for me to then ultimately post that
Yes.
journal.
Yes. Yes. No, no, absolutely. Pretty straightforward for you, it looks like, because once everything closes, you start the process. But still,
Mhm.
do you have any challenges in this? Just for example, system is not taking the journals or you are not receiving the inputs, then you have to follow up again a lot.
I think I think it would be like receipt of information.
Mhm.
And I also think the only challenge would be like not sharing of information at the appropriate time. For instance, as I mentioned before, like for instance, your AP, your treasury, and your costing, because we do tend to work quite regularly together. They do kind of have a bit of foresight in like advising me that, okay, this is something you need to look out for. But
Yes.
for maybe, for instance, where someone doesn't think ahead and think that this would have an impact on me, that's when I would say that becomes a frustration, because you find out at the
You
back
find
end of
out.
thing that hold up, there was the situation that was discussed and it was supposed to be treated in a certain manner. And yeah, I guess that would be the only instance. But
Yeah.
but I guess that would be more people that I don't regularly work with, because then they don't have the insight to know that this
Yes.
would be, I have a dependency on that information.
Yes. Sometimes the pre-close and post-close calls, pre-close calls means when before the close, you have a call with all your dependent parties just to
Mm-hmm.
ensure that smooth. Do you have those pre-close, post-close calls, etc.?
Not anymore, eh?
Okay.
Friedel?
Wait, I mute myself here and see. I've changed the setup of the speakers. Am I still echoing here on a discus? Better?
No, much better, Friedel. Sorry for that.
Okay, cool. No. We don't have
Okay.
we don't have those kind of meetings. The process is continuous. So
Yes.
as you can see from what we have in our list, it's fairly standard, although it's complex in some regards, right?
Yes.
And we don't really deviate from that. So you have to finish all of them one way or another,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So can I say there is no ad hoc journals, Tracy, which comes to you like this reclassification has to be done or something like that?
I'd say from corporate, that would be more costings situation.
Okay.
More reallocations for me is more on your PLC UK side, but not for corporate. As I said,
Okay.
costing has got that down pat on their end.
So PLC UK, which number is it? Is it 1902?
1950, yeah.
1950. So for that,
Mm.
there's some ad hoc journals are there.
Yes, most
Okay.
And the
definitely.
reason for that, just as background, is that
Quite a new entity.
yeah, it's quite a new entity, but the 1902 used to be the holding entity of the group, right? But with re-domiciling to the UK, that entity became a private, a PTY limited. So this the amount of entries and whatever else going through there has scaled down considerably. Then they use that charge out mechanism to get the stuff out anyway. So the new holding company of the group is 1950, which is the UK AGA PLC, and that's what Tracey is referring to.
And those are separate journals, Tracey. How many those are you are processing? Your team is processing.
The UK PLC. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to that when you're done with corporate, and I'll give you the full overview on that. Yeah.
Sure. I think I will need, if you have a checklist, Tracy, just share that checklist to me. So
Sure.
that
But it's a little bit, it's a mixed mesh with both of the stuff that I've put there. So yeah, and I mean there's reporting stuff on there, but I'll share with you. You can just filter out what you need.
Yes. No, absolutely. So Tracy, the idea is that you can mix and match 1950 and 1902 for now, because I would be taking the second process as a reconciliation later on.
Okay.
So
Sure.
don't hesitate, and I'll keep on noting in case any differences are there or anything are there. So
okay.
So from the 1950 perspective, is there anything different? Like Workday 6 is not, you're closing the Workday 6, right? So
I think this one is more busy upfront because, as I said, it's a new, and here I would get involved in a little bit of the recharges because I do a few things, for instance, on the bank account. So that's where this moves a little bit forward, I would say. And here we would get, like, for instance, I've just got off a call where Comsec, they actually processed quite a few payments, say on 1950, but they want that charged to a holdings account. So that is a non-standard amount of journals, I would say. I've just listed it here as Comsec legal recharges, because they would perhaps pay something under 1950, but then it was supposed to go to AGA Holdings, and then they would say, can you recharge this and whatever. So these journals would fluctuate considerably.
okay. And how many are these around?
Well, for instance, this month, okay, I've done, let me see. There was 2, okay, let's see. There was 2, but I got off a meeting where another 3 was discussed. So you see 5. Whereas
under
last
5.
month, where last month I had like 1. So this is dependent on the situation,
Okay.
And
these are time-consuming journals, or is it straightforward?
I would say this is more, not the journal itself. As I said, the journal takes very quickly, but it's about getting the correct information and sourcing that information. So I think that's where that comes in. But as I said, for instance, can I just show you a copy of an email to just give you an indication? I want to now see. I think it was low. Okay. For instance, like this, just shout if you can see the email or not. She would say, good morning. Can you facilitate a journal from cost entity 11? That's 1950, and that's to holdings. So then it means I will take out the cost over here and then just put it to whatever my intercompany GL is, and I will share that in. She's copied in Barbara Carter so that she has the opposite in effect on her end. And then she will, for instance, attach the invoices, and I will go into that detail basically to just see how the costing and the invoicing was split, and then just opposite and then take it over to whatever. So in this instance, I say the information that's provided is quite complete and succinct. So you can just take it and then just populate. So it's quite straightforward. But as I said, that is more a volume story, and I would say that would be dependent on whatever the circumstances was in that month. Then, for instance, what I would also do, the bank interest, and this is just because we had a bit of a issue with how the bank statements load. So for the interest, it doesn't load on the value date, basically. So we would just basically just reverse what was put through on the incorrect date and then just put it through on the first of the month. So that is also a standard journal. The salary recharges, this happened this month only. And I know there's another project happening with regards to with regards to the payroll. So I guess this will be sorted out. It's just this month they paid the salaries on my end, and then I had to do an intercompany transfer for that amount to holdings to just charge them. Then we've got the executive salary journal. So that would be CEO, CFO. It's a standard journal on a monthly basis. Share capital and premium journal. This refers to the share issues. So on a monthly basis, we would just allocate all the exercised options against share capital and premium. The BSP journal refers to your share charges, your IFRS 2 costs. So basically, I get provided information and then I will have an entry. It's one journal, but as Johan said, one isn't one because this will be a charge to all the individual operations. So I would guess there's probably a 8 or 9 liner on there. And then, for instance, this one here, the AGH pension recharge, that is also dependent on what your payroll process will be, because we've got 3 employees on the books of AGA PLC, and then AGA Holdings will then give me what the pension charge is so that I can book it on my side. And then also on a monthly basis, for instance, I do manual postings on the USD EFT account. So when clearing that account, there's tiny Forex differences. For instance, if you did a payment in well, not really with GBP, if you paid a invoice in ZAR, but then it settles in USD, and upon settlement, there's a tiny difference. These ones, I would say, let me see how many did I do today. Friedel, do you have that channel? Or is it on Peter's thingy? Wait, hold up. Let me just see. I think I had that support open, so I would know. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So for instance, this month that had 4 lines. And let me see, is there anything else, Friedel? You think off the top of your head other than these ones?
You've got the main things. There's a tax section there.
Oh yes, and the NEDs, the NED portions, the non-executive directors, but that's on a quarterly basis. But I don't know what your process will be from a payroll perspective to maybe automate that, and maybe it won't happen in future. But that's quarterly. That would be the NED fees, and then any taxes that relate to that. There'll be a specific journal for that, so that the tax is paid on the NED fees.
Home?
Huh?
Not pillar 2, home.
Oh, pillar 2. But we haven't done any provisions because the only provision that's there is waiting for assessment.
Yeah, but I mean, that's,
but in future, this is also something to just thingy that pillar 2 taxes, if the tax department gives us any information, we will then have to provide for that pillar 2 taxes.
Okay, so that
but for this year, there was no provision. The provision that's currently there happened last year. So we kind of either closed it up or down, depending on the information that he had. But for 2025, there was no change to the provision. So yeah. So as I said, from a tax perspective, maybe if they have some stuff as well, but that's more ad hoc. It's not a monthly thing.
Okay. So can I say close to 10 journals instead of 5 earlier noted?
Yeah, you can make it 10.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make it 10.
Okay. Perfect.
But yeah, the biggest one would be your recharges reallocation one.
Which one?
This one, this first one.
Okay.
Because sometimes also they perhaps would put as I said before, in 1902, I don't get involved with costing much per se, but here where they do something wrong, 10 to 1, I'll be the one that fixes it, puts it to the correct cost center. Yeah.
And all these are happening at the month close. So I can say 100% of the journals you are doing in the month close itself, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have a good idea on this one.
Okay.
Any kind of SOPs, or SOP means standard operating procedures, or any documentation do you have for the any of the processes like journals, intercompany, or any other process?
It's just your standard processes that we follow across the
No
board, but not
documentation.
not documented. Yeah.
Okay.
If anything was documented, it would be in the SOX control descriptions. If these
Yeah.
was SOX, that's the only documentation I can think of.
Okay. No, as such, like a person who is a new user coming and he can see the SOP and understand these are the steps are there. There's nothing like that, correct?
Not employing currently, Chief.
But
Any accounting guide you have? Accounting guide or? Okay.
accounting guide? What is in your accounting directives? Yes, we do have accounting directives.
Okay. And what it
But not
includes?
covering, that's at a high level
But
of
that's
risk,
high
because
level,
that,
like
yeah,
how to treat
Okay.
in more like it from a
yes, the
reporting
accounting
perspective, not
implications of each
transactional.
of these,
Yeah,
Okay.
not transactional.
yeah.
Yeah, not transaction. Just for high level understanding of.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I'm good with the journals. Any other things which you want to share with the journals before I move to the reconciliations?
Let me think. Can you think of anything, Friedel?
Oh,
No.
Okay.
I think you've covered it well. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So I'm sharing my screen again, Tracey, here.
Okay.
Do you see the Excel again?
General accounting, yes. Preparation of manual entries.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So I've noted
Okay.
the things out there, and let's move to. And do you do any kind of trial balance reviews, etc.?
Well, yes, for 1950, Friedel will do the review. I will do an overall first and go into your individual GL accounts where I see the movement seems a bit off and whatever. I would go
What
in
day
there.
you are doing this?
Okay, for corporate, it's a little bit earlier. I would say working day 3, because I would normally go through it as I go through, what the major accounts is on the, I've got a TB listing for 1902. So working day 3, working day 4, and I would, where I do a few reconciliations or whatever, I will look into those accounts.
Okay.
And for instance, when I'm busy with my, say, SOX controls, where I've got SOX controls over certain areas, I would then do the review and the checking on that and prepare the document then for Friedel's review.
Okay.
So that is part of the overall month-end process as I work myself through the trial balance.
Do you make any kind of schedules, etc., like lease schedule or anything which is supporting
More
the?
for instance, my silicosis and corms and deferred compensation, I've got supporting schedules for that. So then from a balance perspective, I ensure that whatever's in SAP ties up to what should have been, what is on the schedule basically, and what we should have.
Provisions, okay.
Mm.
Okay. And any lease schedules, etc.?
Yes, I've got a standard lease schedule for the corporate lease. And then the AGA PLC lease is quite new. I think we've only brought it in the books last
Everything
month.
is done in Excel?
Yes. It's a for the 1951, it's a download from Nomos, and then basically then just processing the journals. That is something that I still, as I said, we only brought it in the books. So I still need to refine that schedule for it to be a bit more in line with what my 1902 schedule is.
Okay. And do you do the PLR variance analysis, etc.?
The P&L variance analysis gets predominantly done by costing because the bulk of the cost that comes through on 1902 comes basically from the costing schedule. So I would basically review from a cost perspective and balance perspective those things, as I said, like your corms, your silicoses, and more the actuarial valuation entities. Yeah.
some FX valuation in SAP?
In SAP, yes,
Mhm.
for 1902, and that would be, I normally do it on working day 3. I normally do a check with the treasury team to just ensure that they've posted everything that they need to post, and then I run it. Yeah. And also after intercompanies have closed, because it will affect the intercompany balances, seeing that those are ZAR balances.
Okay. So
I
as
need to
per
confirm.
what you consider an intercompany close is workday 2 or
No, they actually close already on the 30th, because the first iteration of the intercompany certificate that I sent out is on the first working day. And the certificate that I'm mentioning is basically just a consolidation of all the intercompany balances that the individual people would have their own recons on. And for this, I would say that there's a subsection for ADB, there's a subsection for your Africa costs, and a subsection for any intercompany that the costing team then charges out to
okay.
the different operations. So
Okay.
basically, my certificate is just bringing everything together. They have the sub-consolidations on their end.
I see. I see.
Yeah. So then the follow-up and stuff like that would be referred to them, because they are closer transaction-wise than what I am. I'm basically just the distributor of the
The cost.
certificate and ensuring then that you know what the balances eliminate basically.
Okay.
But from a
So
transaction perspective, that's
from
the
the closure
accountability.
perspective, GL
Yeah.
close perspective, Tracy, for 19
Mm.
of 1950 and 1902, do you close the GL as well?
Yes, there's a Friedel that control that you have for 1950 basically. So for instance, the key that I have, I've got special authorization. So I am allowed to post after the costing period, but prior to the HFM close. So as I said, anything that needs to be adjusted, the post period entry, that's what I would do. But it does close, and I think it's Dan the correct person to speak to now that Brenessen is no longer there.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Dan Jansen van
And van
Rensburg,
Rensburg.
he gets informed either by Ronsard when their costs are closed or whatever. There's a specific day that they close. So there is a process with regards to that. I think if you can maybe speak to Dan Jansen van Rensburg, he will let you know
Okay.
on the days that they specifically
So you
close. Yeah.
close only the corporate, right? Are you closing Africa entities and other entities as well?
No, not at all.
Okay. Just corporate.
Yeah.
And also, have you reopened the GL very often, like closing, opening very frequently? How many times it
There's
was done in past, maybe?
I think for this, the perfect person that you need to speak to is Ronsard, because he's got a specific process. For instance, he's got a tight cutoff with regards to, say, his AP team, his intercompany team, and when they do the distributions as well. So that is staggered according to a certain set of dates, and they open and close accordingly. General access, they're quite tight in closing. And then I think, as I said, with super auth access, we get a bit more leeway, but there's specific times in the process while they're busy with the distributions that there's a hard close. And only after they've done the distribution, they would say perhaps open for anyone with special auths. But we basically kind of watch what happens there. And I mean, it's very rare. And this would be more, as I said, your period end, where it has to be open for something that, maybe the information was late or whatever needs to be processed. Say, for instance, those areas where I said external people need to get back to us. So obviously they're not on our timeline, but as long as, we adhere to the HFM close period, we still have time to process those entries. And more
Ronsard,
often than not, they tend to be balance sheet entries. And so
yes. But the rights of the closing is with you, right? That final
No,
closing on workday
no,
6.
1902, no. It sits more with I would say Ronsard, eh? Yeah, because
Okay.
he's the custodian of the costs. Yeah.
So you are 1950, can I say?
1950, yeah, you can say it's me. I kind of have the final say, yeah.
In 1902, done by Ronsard.
Ronsard, yeah.
This is so helpful to connect the dots, Tracey,
Yeah,
because
pleasure.
he mentioned to
That's
me
why it
about
made perfect sense to speak to us right at the end. So you get everything else sorted out, and then we can just confirm or deny.
yes, because he mentioned most of the time he does the generals on 30th. And so I thought like, okay, 30th, and you are doing, workday 6. So
Cutting it
now
fine.
so
Yeah,
this fills the
okay.
gap, we are
Yeah.
at the corporate side, we are doing this stuff on these days. Very good, very good. But you are not closing any AR, APGLs, etc., right?
No, that would
Okay.
sit with the necessary
Okay.
subsections.
Perfect.
Maybe speak to Zane Gabbro to find out
Yes.
what their process is on that side. Yeah.
Absolutely. That will be my next call tomorrow. But from the month-end perspective, are you doing anything, any more things like about the generals, schedules, and the closing finally, coordinations, making sure everything is correct, review of trial balances, anything else I should be including?
I can't think of anything now in addition to what I've
Yes.
explained. Can you, Friedel?
No,
No.
not really.
Okay, perfect. No, you
As I
explained.
said, this would be, I don't want to call it ad hoc per se, but you know what, this is as things arise, basically. So one wouldn't be, and I think years, for instance, when you do additional stuff, would be more your year ends and your
You support
half year
audits,
in
etc.
reporting. Yes, and I suppose post, audit findings and things like that, if we have to adjust stuff, yeah.
Final adjustments.
Yeah.
Support audit finding, audits. Do you provide the inputs to the auditor by coordinating?
Yes, they would come to us and whatever support they need. As I said, from a higher level, we're able to provide our inputs, but when you kind of drill down more into the detail, I will then refer them to, say, your costing team, your treasury team, or whatever. Say, for instance, they want a bank confirmation or proof of payment or something. I would then escalate that to the costing team. If they needed a specific invoice or contract, that would then go to your AP team or whatever. So depending on what the query is.
Yes. And who is the auditor for you?
PwC.
There's a
And
huge
do you have
amount of
internal
involvement.
auditor also?
What?
Internal audits or anything?
Yes, our SOX controls, they would then do interim testing on that, and on a quarterly basis we do a SOX assessment, and where it's needed and they request backup for that, we will provide the information to them.
So just in general, our involvement with PwC is more on the external reporting side. It's after the trial balance is finalized, right? So it's whatever flows from that, being income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, and the like. That's where we have a huge amount involvement with PwC. With regards to transactional testing and those kind of things, they've got a different team, which would probably go straight to Ronsard and sites and those kind of things. As you said.
Yes. Sure. So as we are close to the month close, can we do some, are you doing some external reporting like financial packages or presentation to the senior management, how our financial looks like, something like that?
We've got a performance team, and that is there.
That's
so
great.
After we've submitted our HFM, they've got a set amount of reports that they prepare for the executives, etc. So that sits more with our performance team, and it's not a reporting function per se. They just use our reporting inputs.
Yes.
So which team does that, reporting and performance?
Yeah, our performance. What is it? Key performance or what is
KPIs?
But GCAN.
Well, yeah, there's like, for instance, I don't know, there's GCAN that's set in WDesk, and we would perhaps, if there's variances, they would ask us to comment on that. But they've got a multitude of reports that they
Okay. Which team is
provide.
it?
It's Graham Patterson's team, which is the performance team. Is it key performance
Performance,
metrics
no.
or? Wait. Let me
Performance
just
management
try.
or whatever.
Performance management team. Yeah,
Performance management.
Yeah, but that's
Which-
more business performance from my perspective.
it's more business performance.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. And which team is it?
It's
it's the team
Graham's
that
team.
report to Graham
Yeah.
Patterson. Yeah.
Green Peterson. Okay.
Yeah, I think Friedel, not Friedel, sorry, Friedel. Ronsard's in Graham's team, right?
Yes.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I remember Graham nominated Ronsard for the workshops, Vignette.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. I was just trying to see that where that fits in because in last 15 minutes, Tracey, Friedel, I will just go with the team members and ask you how much percentage of work you are doing for recons, generals, etc. So just wanted to understand. Okay, so I think I'm good with the month close things. Just you will send me the month close checklist to me so that I understand that as well. Journals you mentioned, from the reporting perspective, what kind of reports you are doing?
Sorry, Vignette, before you answer, Tracey, can I just confirm, are you asking for performance reports of the team, or you're talking, I think this is very, this is a very interesting scenario. Remember there's a team that does the performance reporting for the business as a whole, for the financials, etc. Or are you talking about, i.e., how many, are we talking about like KPI performance reporting? So this is the question I'm asking you, Vignette. Sorry, when you say
I'm asking about the business performance, like
Okay.
how our financials are doing, like as compared to the past month and next month, what the variance analysis, how we are different, anything, one-time thing happened, just to make management aware about, how we are doing financially.
I think that's Graham's team, right?
Yep, exactly. That's performance reporting. So, like Tracey said, they've got a multitude of reports and a way of gathering things and systems and whatever else they use to supply management with adequate information to make business decisions. And that's their function.
Right. Anything else in reporting side? Any external support your team is doing, Friedel?
Well, we support the finance function as a whole. And like I said right at the beginning, with regards to external reporting, and whatever is required, for example, in the UK annual report, there's a holding company disclosure, AGA PLC consolidated. There's requirements with regards to loan covenants, PTY limited, or separate set of financials. So it's external financial reporting as a whole.
Okay. So can you give some examples of yours so I note it, like name of the report or any specific area? Like as you said, the loan governance report.
The loan governance requires a set of financials for AGAH consolidated, so it's special purpose vehicle purpose financials. And then we've got the standalone AGA PLC financial set included in the UK annual report as the company. We prepare those as well. PTY Limited.
Limited
Yes.
financials.
PTY Limited financials.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's quite a few.
Okay. And these external reports, you are sending it to external authorities or is it external to your team?
It goes from us to external parties, yes.
Outside
There's
AGA.
not another layer on top of that, yeah. So once we sent it out, basically.
So outside AGA, you send it.
Sorry?
You send this information to other team or is it outside AGA, like external legal authorities or etc.?
Yeah, external legal authority.
Okay. Okay. From the month close, and I think I'm good with this. Shall we move to reconciliations? Or in case I've covered everything on the month close in journals?
Yeah, sure. Sorry,
Okay.
was on mute.
Okay. So let's go with the balance sheet recons. Give me the overview. So I have a list of recons which was provided to me. And Tracey, your name appears very often out there. So let me share that what I
Yes.
have.
Okay.
So that we can take that as a basis. That folder is not coming. Sec. Here. Okay. So I got a list of the trial balance out there, Tracey, which has several accounts. And on the right side, the name of the person who's responsible for those accounts are there, like this.
Yes, I
So,
think we had a call with regards to this,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, our very
just
first meeting, it dealt with this whole thing.
yeah,
Right?
because what I mentioned in that meeting as well, the list looks quite long, but after we did the basically delisting here and did the UK listing, a whole lot of those accounts, they've got no movements, but PwC actually advised that we keep it and we sign off, and we basically sign off to say that there's been no movement. And then what we've done is we've also identified the accounts that we would keep, which was basically your CORMs, your silicosis, your deferred compensation. So anything that relates to those actuarial valuations and those modules and those transactions. And then the rest we said,
It's a
is
possibility to.
open for takeover and whatever. But also just to note, as I said, that there are accounts there, for instance, that 401, 600, 601, 602. After we actually moved to the UK listing, there hasn't been movement on that 401 to 606 basically, including 401, 800 because we don't have share expenses. But as we said, from a SOX perspective, you can maintain those, and also as confirmation that there's been no movement in those ones.
okay.
Yeah.
The shares are no longer issued.
Yeah, it's no longer issued from. So that's basically, as Friedel said, that's where we used to do the share issues from. And for instance, you will see PL 15, 16, that's where we say we've got joint. So I would basically just look at what's in PL 15 and 16. There's basically nothing in SAR legacy. It's also like very minimum. So the big movements on these under shared, the bulk of the stuff goes through on your PL 11, which is the costing price. So I would maybe have one or two entries on those when you go into the GL itself and do a sort according to PL 15. So on my end, I basically just see that, if there was any entry there, that it does get cleared or whatever it is, makes sense. So there's no reconciliations that's quite detailed per se, because on my profit centers, which are those ones, there's not a lot of movement going through there. The movement and the meat of the transactions sits in PL 11, 12, and 13.
But still, we have to prepare this because it is required to be prepared.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So if I
And then, as I said, from an intercompany perspective, that 202005, as well as 351006. Where's that number? It should be there somewhere. Yeah. No. It's 202005 and 351006. Just
Okay, I
probably
can search it.
down somewhere there. Yeah, it will be.
202005. Here it is. Intercompany
Yeah, that one.
customers.
And then
Mhm.
351006.
Okay. So what are these?
These are like your intercompany holding accounts, so to speak. So there is detailed reconciliations done from the intercompany guys. So they would have the detailed reconciliations on that, because I basically send out the consolidated balances, but the detailed reconciliation happens with the intercompany / costing team.
Okay, by them.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Because
So I will
it's
have a certificate with all the balances, but the detailed work where they've reconciled between themselves and the mine
Mhm.
will sit with them under more your trading partner account. So they probably have the recons done on trading partner level.
It's done by costing team. Okay.
Yeah.
Means Ronsard team.
Yes, that's correct.
Because they also doing PL thing, PL profit
Mm-hmm.
center, and the
Mm-hmm.
here it is. But there is no
Mm-hmm.
PL 15. There is no PL
On under
15.
what? No, the accruals is really that I've got accruals, honestly.
Okay.
I've
So
got
if
accruals other, there's accruals other, but as I said, it's quite rare for there to be something posted against PL 15 unless
in
it's
basically
very
you
a ad hoc kind of transaction or whatever, you know.
and from your side you collect all the certificates and supporting documents.
Yes, yes, they would send me a copy of their certificate, and then I would see that the balances that they gave me agrees to what's the balances per trading partner in that GL account. But the detailed transaction and as well as account resolving any account queries and whatever will sit with whoever is the owner of the trading partner on this end. So it would be Paul for any Africa entities, Jessica, Annalie, or Nati, depending on what
Depending
the
on the
accountability
allocations
is.
with them.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So if I
And the
see the
same goes for that 301217.
three
Yeah,
second
you will say, okay, now that sits under Ronsard, which is good because he signs that off. Yeah.
302.
No, it's 301217. It sits with Ronsard. Yeah. But they would send me a copy of that reconciliation because I would then need to split it within long term and short term in my pack. But they do the active reconciliation. So that's just as an example to give you an overview when it comes to
So
balance
you
sheet
do the split.
reconciliations. Yeah.
Tracy, you do the split between.
I would do it in the HFM pack. So as per what that certificate says on a quarterly basis, I will then ensure that in HFM it is correctly allocated. But there's no transaction that gets, it's just basically a split in the reporting pack. Yeah. And let's go up to investments in subsidiaries, those three accounts there.
Investments in associates. This
102,
one.
100, no more down, 102, 100, 102, 300.
Mhm.
This is where we used to have basically when we were the group entity, that's when, you know, we had a list of investments in subs. But now that we're no longer the holding entity, there's only like marginal investments that we still have there. And the only investment that moves there is a listed investment that we revalue on a quarterly basis. So that's one journal that gets done on a quarterly basis, but we still pull the GLs and provide a little template that we do sign off on for SOX control. So I can
Okay.
send you a copy of what we do there.
Yes.
So 102, 100 to 300.
So list of investment no longer
Mm.
there is a listing. So from the reconciliation perspective, you just
Mhm.
prepare the template and for this account.
Yes, yes. And then it gets signed off by Friedel from a SOX perspective because it's covered by a SOX control.
And how the sign off
Uh,
take place? Is it like you send it?
well, it's PDF, it's get PDF'd and then, you know, whatever there'll be commentary on there if needed, ticked, and then also check towards SAP.
PDF sign off.
Mhm.
And Frido, basically you store it to the shared drive and Frido picks up and signed off like that, or you
Yes.
send by email?
Yes. No, I
correct.
will save it in a folder and he will go and access and
Okay,
sign
sign
off.
it there.
Yeah.
And what day is a deadline for reconciliations and sign off, Tracy?
On a monthly basis for the sign off, is it for monthly? Is it 15 days, 15 business days in the month?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
maximum. So we try and do it
that's
as
the
soon as
maximum. That's the maximum. So we do it. We try and do it before, like the review. I mean, the preparation and review portion. I would do it as I'm doing the HFM pack, because I need to check those accounts and balances, and then the sign off will happen and when Friedel
a
gets
day or two
the
later.
opportunity, a day or two later, but we're still within the parameters that SOX has set for us.
So can I say, for example, book closing happens on workday 6 and you
Mhm.
reconcile everything by workday 15?
No, it's really that it gets to 15. I would say it's more
That's
like
much
7 or 8.
Yeah.
More
Workday
7 or 8.
workday
Yeah,
8.
more 7 or 8. But if it's any reconciliation that I would say affects a transaction and something that you need to post,
Before this.
obviously the check happens way before then to ensure
Yes.
that you are processing the proper
Yes.
information.
Okay.
Yep.
If I see the volume of accounts, Tracy, how
Mhm.
many reconciliations your team entirely, including Frido, one sec. If I open this and see that, if I
Mhm.
filter with your name and
Yeah.
Frido and
Mhm.
Frido name,
More up. Yeah.
Tracy.
Yeah. And but yeah.
And here is a
Okay.
Jacques also. Jacques, you also do the reconciliations, right?
Correct. Only from a tax perspective.
From the
So
tax
right at the
perspective.
bottom.
Okay.
I think there are 4 accounts right at the bottom.
And you also process the journal entries, etc., right? Tax perspective.
Well, no. Vineet, so it's actually quite simple from my end. Because South Africa has such big assessed losses, we rarely accrue for taxes. So look, we've had a journal recently, but I mean I think that was the first journal in probably 5 years we had to pass. So
Okay.
so we do a quarterly recon, but it usually doesn't end up in a journal being passed.
I see.
But should we need to pass a journal, we would then chat to either Tracey or Friedel, and
Okay.
they would process the entry. I don't even have access in SAP to process journal entries,
I
right?
see.
So it's actually quite simple from our side.
So from the role perspective, your role is around taxation, or is it?
Correct. So it's mainly South African tax, but which is irrelevant. But there is an international leg to it as well. But from this process, it really is the South African taxes that we're looking at. There could potentially be some more entries that we would have to pass in future, meaning deferred taxes. So we are currently working on an assessment to determine whether that's required or not.
Okay.
But should that be required, there would be, I guess, on a quarterly basis, some additional journal entries from our end.
Okay.
But that process isn't really in place as yet, meaning, as I've said, I don't have access to SAP to journalize entries. So we'd probably have to discuss that once we get there.
Sure. Okay. So Tracy, from the totality perspective, if I see, even though there is no movement of accounts,
But the
is it?
ones that I do like big reconciliations on, it's, remember those areas that I've told you, just go down.
Yeah.
A little bit more down.
Investments and
A little bit, I think 105,002.
5,002.
But it's actually down on the list. Yeah, just scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, that 105,012. So yes, 105,001, because that 105,002, that is your deferred compensation. So
current
I do
asset.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a deferred compensation reconciliation that I do. 105,001. That is the CORMS asset. So I've got a detailed Excel sheet with regards to that.
Okay.
Let me see, where's the other ones?
The one below that.
355,002.
Okay.
That's your silicosis.
It was there at the
I think
bottom.
it's like more down. Yeah,
There we
that
go.
one.
Yeah.
So that's your silicosis. And I also have a detailed Excel sheet as well as a reconciliation for that one. Let me see. Other list. Let's go up. Let me see. Yeah. That 301,300 retirement benefit obligation. Yeah, that's also supported by a Excel sheet. So basically 105,001 and this one, I put them together on a one schedule.
The one's the asset, the other one's the
And
liability.
the other
So
one
this
is the liability, yeah.
Okay.
And is there anything else?
This looks like
that 41500, that's the actuarial valuation that we process on an annual basis. So that's also supported by that 301,300 and whatever. All that information is on one schedule.
okay.
Yeah. So basically, and as I said, the investments that goes through on one of the SOX controls, and yeah.
So even though this is a listing, but you don't reconcile all these accounts.
Yes. I do lots of reconciliations on those areas, as I said, because yeah, that's and as I also said, especially with a shared responsibility, I might have PL 15, but there's almost no transactions that gets posted there. As I said, the meat of all the transactions tend to be in PL 11, which is our costing team.
Okay, so do you have a list of the tracking? How do you track these reconciliations that you have knocked out all the reconciliations required for the month? Do you have any kind of listing for those reconciliations or anything
Well,
else?
as I said on my checklist, I would list like the different areas, and obviously the areas goes with the GL, so I will have a look at the GLs and see that the accounts make sense.
And
then
also,
agrees
if
to
there's
the
no
schedules.
movement, you don't need any reconciliation.
If there's no movement, I basically don't do anything. I would go and check and see that there's no movement and there's nothing that's posted to that PL that I maybe need to give my attention to.
So, but for wherever there is your name is required written like approver, do you look at that account basically for reconciliations?
Yes, I would. I would do a quick check to see that nothing has been posted in there.
So is it fair to say that close to 44 reconciliations you look in the month? If I total, all the accounts, even though there is no movement, you look for.
Yeah, you see, but it's so quick. It's like and not documenting it, whatever, just to make sure that nothing has moved.
Okay.
No,
but
as I
just
said,
from the volume
the
perspective,
attention is as per the ones that yeah. So it would be nice if
close to 40
guys can have a look at it.
And let me see the Jackie's part also, so that we don't miss the recons. Quickly.
It was easy when those ones were active because then they were part of a complete process that you ran. But since they're no longer there, like for instance, the share capital process that we have in AGA PLC, we used to have a similar one
Very
in
fast.
corporate, and then all those affected accounts would be covered
Yes.
by a sign-off or certificate.
Yes. But there are Jacques, there are 4 listed, but looks like those are the yearly reconciliations. Is it correct?
Well, look, from a SOX perspective, we do it on an annual basis, but it's actually a quarterly recon that I do. But as I said, I mean, there are no real movements there.
Okay, no, but should be movement there, right? Because tax liability you are paying off, the differences are there. Why this
No,
is?
because as I've mentioned, South Africa has significant assessed losses, so we're not in a tax-paying position, right? So,
Okay.
but there could be penalties and that sort of thing that we've seen recently because of historic, tax return filings. But as I've said, we haven't. Please remember, we sold all our SA mining assets back in 2020, so it really is only this office.
Okay.
And as I've said, we don't pay tax because of the assessed losses.
Sure. And in case you need any journal entries, you just pass it to Tracey's team to process the journal for the tax provision
So
or.
Yeah, we provide the information, and I think because of the segregation,
Yes.
Tracey will pass them for us. As I've mentioned, going into the future, there might be deferred tax entries that we need to bring in, and then it's a different discussion, I think, because that would require a bit more work, and I think the volume will then definitely pick up. So I'm not sure if it makes sense to have Tracey do those. I don't know. We'll have to discuss that.
Sure. Yeah. No, just for as is perspective, just trying to
Sure.
understand anything else apart from tax entries or journals in your role, Jacques?
Not from my end, no.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I think we are good with recons, close to 40 recons. Workday 8 we finish. We got the segregation, etc. And you don't have any kind of policies, etc. Is it correct understanding? Recon policies, which shows how to recons, types of recons, approver should be, how the supporting document should look like. Do you have a reconciliation comprehensive policy?
Is that a question for me, Vineet?
For Tracey, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I think the perfect person to actually speak to would be like maybe your AP and costing guys and see what their standard form
They don't,
of
they don't
reconciliations
have.
is, especially as they have quite a lot, and especially from a sub-ledger perspective, etc.
Yes.
So they might just have,
But interesting thing, Tracy, just to reconnect, they are just doing 10 reconciliations, Ronsard team. And they are not spending much time in reconciliations at all. So that's give me the view.
your AP team.
Maybe AP team is because I have a listing of all accounts and I have people who are assigned, so I know entire scope of recons.
Well, this
the
entity by
person
itself
that's
has got little movement.
is that
It's scaled down.
Yeah, and also I would say
60,000.
Zane Gabriel, because his areas, because he's got
Yes, I'll
both
speak
AP
to him
as well
about
as
that
treasury
as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got a separate session set up with Zane
with them.
team
Yes,
and
yes,
Faimo around their recons
yes,
and the payroll recons.
yes.
Okay, so I have noted, so I think everything looks fine, just you follow the SOX, but there is no documentation additional from an accounting perspective, no guidelines supporting documentation. You just track based on the Excel which you have. So everything looks pretty standard, what I heard earlier also. This is good. I think I am good with the recons. Any challenges you're facing? Let me see what challenges they were facing there in recons. They didn't find much challenges in this. They're pretty straightforward. Um, do you have unreconciled items, etc., which are just carrying over from the month on month?
In some of those accounts, I think is it prepaid expenses or is it accruals? But there was a receivable that we needed to get from Chamber of Mines, Friedel, but that was dependent on them like receiving money for the sale of that building of theirs. Then they were gonna pay us, and I think that's about 300 and something thousand.
Okay.
That is something that's been sitting quite long on.
Okay, unreconciled. What is this
Yeah,
expenses? Prepaid expense.
I think it was prepaid expenses or something like
Yeah,
that.
but
I
it's
can't
rands, right?
remember.
Not dollars.
Yeah, it's rands. Oh
300,000.
no, it's rands.
Rands,
It's quite
not
small.
Is
And
300,000 ZAR? Okay. So how
yeah,
much is in
I'd say
dollar? I don't know the currency.
350.
I don't know.
Yeah, quite small.
Quite
And
quite small. Okay.
let me think. Then I think on your bank interest receivable, that generally just tends to be like the interest accrual and then the reversal thereof. But I think there's an amount there that was a SARS interest that was due to us. Jacques, this was done, I think, even in the days when Shri and them were there. So that's also something that hasn't moved in a while. What was the
It
other
doesn't ring a
entry?
bell, Tracy. How much is it? Can you remember?
I think it's, hold off a second. Let me just have a look quickly and see under last month.
So that 10,000 rand sitting there.
No, not that 10, not the one on HFM. Hold up, let me just have a look. Okay, 202, 202. Okay, I've got 3 tiny ones here. Let me just open because I do extract those SAP and then.
Yeah. Just wanted to have understanding, are we
Yes. No, I'll show you now so that you can see. And then also I think under accruals there, I'll share with my screen with
no,
you
you can just tell me the
shortly.
amount. That's fine,
Yeah. I'm opening it and then I'll
Okay.
show you. For instance, okay. Okay, so for instance, this is on your accrual account, and this is an extract I would do. You would see there's PL 11 and there's PL 15. And this is something that I've investigated for so many times. The Africa region team put through a reversal of accrual that's sitting here on PL 15. This is 149,000 rands. And as you can see, it's a 2021. They just could not find what it is. And I think eventually we might just maybe need to expense it or whatever to get rid out of it because there's no conclusion on this one. This is on your accrual account. Then,
It's not bank interest, right?
no, that's not bank interest. I'll get to that account. I'm just taking you through the 3 accounts. And then on 202016, which is the prepayments, there is that 388, which is the Chamber of Mines. And then the prepayment of our lease also sits there, but obviously that will eventually come out. And then we had a prepayment here. I think
So
this
that
was
is millions are million five. Okay.
okay. So that's the Chamber of Mines one. Okay, this one obviously will disappear towards the end of the lease. And then we had an amount, I think, Friedel, and I speak under correction here, when we had the SA region, SAR legacy, there was an amount that was taken, I don't know, by the municipality. They seized our bank accounts or something, but they took an amount of 12 million. I think maybe our legal team will have, and I think this money hasn't been brought back or whatever. I think there might be a legal case there, Friedel, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
This is sitting
or
from a long time.
dispute. Yeah, this is a dispute, but I mean, I think this is an ongoing dispute because it's a legacy matter. And
How
then from
many is it 12 million sitting from a long time?
from 2021, but I think they should be I'm not sure it's a legal dispute or something of the sort, but there's method behind the madness with regards to the legal team. If you maybe speak to Aviona now or someone.
Yeah. Do you have any, how do you track it? Is it just by this separate Excels or do you have any
Yes, it's
spreadsheet?
basically what's in SAP and what you can follow up or whatever and clear and investigate. And if there's reason why it is there up until payment, then you just keep it there in the account.
I mean, how do you track it? I mean, is this with the Excel, each individual Excel you track it, or do you have a list, one consolidated view that these are all unreconciled?
It's with the Excel in the account basically.
Okay, separate Excels.
Yeah. And then, for instance, the interest that I was referring to, so normally what should be in there is the current month accrual, but then there's a total of 2.5 million, which was SARS interest that was raised, Jacques, in, oh my goodness gracious, can you see SARS refunds, whatever. It's legacy stuff. And I mean, each time I still have old emails that I used to follow up with Sherry Ann, and they basically never got the money.
How
I
much
think it
is
was
it?
a SARS dispute at some point in time.
How much is it?
It was 2.5 million rands.
Tracey, we need to discuss that. That should go out. We
No,
don't
okay.
carry that. I'm not aware
Yeah.
of any of that. So
Because it's something that Vicky and Sherry Ann said should remain there because I don't know whether they're disputing it with SARS and the money was supposed to be due or whatever. But if you give us the instructions, more than willing, we can take it out, right, Friedel?
yeah, I don't think it's
Yep.
valid, to be honest.
So you know what, I can send you the information, Jacques, and you can then just refer back to us. I'm sure before
Yeah,
Jen back takes over. Yeah.
Let's have a
A
offline.
look and see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
I think
In,
I have some emails with regards to that, so I can send you that documentation and then
Okay, thanks.
yeah.
okay. Thank you, Tracy, for this. I had a little broader idea on this one.
Mhm.
And maybe some of the
So
action points for later on, how
mhm.
to get rid of all this.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that's as I said, long-standing items that hasn't
yes,
been moved.
2021.
Yeah, that which is
I'll just
obviously
put the
under 15.
approximations,
Mm,
just so that it is under notice.
sure.
Okay. So we have done recons. Anything on the intercompany you are doing?
Intercompany, as I said, I issue two certificates. So let me show you.
Okay.
Du- 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 du.
Just send me the copy of this recons also.
Okay,
Tracy.
I will send it. What do you need, Vineet? Can you just repeat that?
Just a copy of this, any recon,
The
just to
ones
see
with
the
the
template.
long-standing
Yeah.
items.
No,
That's what you want,
yeah.
okay?
That
Okay,
one, or
let me just.
maybe any to understand the template, that
Okay.
this
He's just asking
Then
for one
I can
copy.
also
Yeah.
send you a copy of the
copy.
recon that I do on that other stuff so that you see how we do it
Sure.
from a HFM perspective. Sorry, a SAP perspective and how we reconcile with regards to that, just so that you
Sure.
see like the active recons that I have, how that
Yes.
works.
Yes.
Oh, let me just make a note of that. Okay.
So you issue
And then
certificates.
do you also want a copy of the intercompany certificates that I send out?
Yeah, one copy is enough.
Oh, one
one
copy of it. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
one copy
Alrighty.
just to
Yeah,
have
because
a,
it's a consolidated one. I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay. Let me show you. It's a September final one.
So when so you issue the certificates for the intercompany, correct?
Yeah. Just hold up. I will show you what it looks like. Hold up. Am I sharing? Oops. So, okay, it's basically these two. So this one would be for your PLC basically. So what it does is it's got all that TP accounts that I spoke to you about, and that will be the balance for the specific TP in that specific month. And
So how
on
many
this
trading partners are there? 12 trading partners? TP is trading partner, correct?
Yeah, let me just count them here.
Is of 37, 52, 15. Okay.
It's 15 less 1 because what happens now, Ser Grande is no longer standing on its own because it's out for sale. So Corrego carries their balances. So it's 14. So it's those ones,
So
14.
only one certificate, one Excel goes, or do you send the separate certificates?
Yes. No. The separate certificates is what the costing guys and the intercompany guys does. So they would basically send out to the individual trading partners. So this is basically the confirmation then at the back end of it. We have consolidated all the balances. And then, the guys probably uses the certificate to upload from a perspective. And for instance, this is the one that's for corporate, as you will see also. And that's their balances for particular year. So what we do, we put the balances in ZAR because it's extracted in ZAR, and then we convert it at the closing rate to the specific USD rate.
ZAR extracted in what?
Yes. So the corporate one is in ZAR.
Okay.
And then it gets converted at the month into USD basically.
Okay.
So that would be the email where I just send it to the relevant parties and then just
and
attach
that they
it.
use as a supporting documents to prepare their
They use
own
it as a
individual.
supporting document to populate their HFM account, and then we will eliminate from a HFM perspective because we'll have opposite and equal in our various entities.
So they
Yeah.
So this is a supporting document for their intercompany recons also. Is it correct?
Yes, but there is also individual certificates for all the trading partners, and that's what you will get from Ronsat and his team.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is basically consolidation balance-wise. They will have the certificates with the individual transactions and statements to support all of that.
Okay. So that's all in the intercompany. Anything else? Any recons or any kind of reporting, intercompany report?
No.
Okay.
So, not on my level, as I said, yeah.
So we have covered these.
So the dispute resolution that you were saying, as I said, if anyone disputes their balance, they would go back to the person who sent them the statement. So
are you involved in that?
Whoever in Ronsat's team is responsible for that, and whoever needs to change their balance or whatever will do so and do that before our HFM submission to then ensure that we do eliminate.
No manual journals for intercompany. Do you do the journal entries? I think so. Right? That was written there in some intercompany journals.
No.
No? Okay.
So as I said, it's just the one for the share scheme costs, which supports that other certificate, that 1950 certificate I showed you.
Okay.
So it's your IFRS 2 cost of the share options.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Share scheme cost, yeah.
No recons, any chargeback journals or allocation journals?
Chargebacks, and that's where that recharges came from. I don't know, do you remember when we were talking about 1950?
Yes. Recharge.
So that it currently is that executive salary, NEDs and stuff like that, but I'm sure you will address it with whatever your payroll process is or whatever your plans is with regards to payroll.
But you process that recharge journal,
but
right?
at the moment I process those recharges as manual journals, but obviously whatever interventions you put in for payroll, that will most probably cease. Yeah.
You mentioned there is no reports, etc. So, and you are not involved in the confirmation, just a certificate.
The confirmation, I do tend to be copied in because in the email, I would say, if you are not in agreement, and then they would then I would be copied in. Say, for instance, I'm making an example, say a Brazil intercompany, and I'm just pulling up someone's name now and saying, Pearl is responsible for that. What will then happen is once they confirm their balance with Pearl, I will be copied in, and then I will see that they've said they confirm or whatever. And if there's a dispute, they will go to the specific person.
Okay.
And I will then, because I normally have 3 versions of the certificate that I pull, working day 1, 2, and 3. So by working day 3, the process should have been concluded, and whatever dispute there was most definitely needs to then be sorted.
Okay. Perfect. So I got this idea on that. Other than that, I think I covered month-end journals, recons, intercompany, banking I covered earlier, lease I covered earlier, with Chantal and team, Nanku also. So I think I'm good with this. Anything else do you think I should be covering from your team perspective?
No, not that I can think of now, Vineet, but as it comes up,
Sure.
I mean, I've fully got your contact and can send you a...
Yes. So I have one listing out there where I'm trying to get some idea. Your team is here. I just wanted to understand the percentage, of the work. So these lines I was trying to focus on. Let me do this and hide others in case it is confusing, but I can do that like that. So these are the 4 people who are reporting to Friedel. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand, Tracey, from the percentage of time perspective, has not to be very 100% accurate, but should be very close. Like how much time of the entire 100% you are devoting to month close, month recons, in case fixed assets, bank, intercompany, or any reporting. So I pre-filled it a little bit, but we can change it. And
it needs to be changed.
yes. So I
It's
can
smaller here in the beginning, and then
this,
I would say towards the end, that reporting ones will take a lot, because that's actually the population of my pack and putting everything together.
okay, 40, 30.
Friedel, yeah. What's that,
So,
MJE?
mhm.
Yeah, 10. Close period, yeah, 25. Reconciliations will need to go down.
So from close perspective, other than MJE, what should I include as a note?
As a note.
Yeah, I mean, like for example, any kind of schedules, distributions, recharges, preparations, etc.
Yes, it's stuff like that. Practically the same as George, I
Okay.
would say. You can actually
Okay.
put it up to 25, to be honest.
Okay.
At your reconciliations, I would say it's a little bit lower.
15, 10?
Like 15, yeah.
Okay. And no FA, no bank.
I would say bank, you can put 5%, because that would now be whatever I'm doing for AGA PLC.
So that comes in journal, right? Bank include basically bank recons, etc.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, because I do a sign off on the bank accounts, the balances that we've got at period close for.
Okay.
For 1950, those 2 accounts that we have, the USD, to just see that SAP agrees to the bank statement, as well as that all entries in the EFT accounts have closed. Yeah. Intercompany is 20. Yeah. How much is that in total? 105. Take intercompany down to 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
In reporting.
Yeah. 30.
So what includes in reporting? A new note here.
That would basically be, I would say, like any the population of the pack, the submission of the pack. So it's basically in XTB to pack, basically. Yeah. Well, no, XEX. So from your trial balance, basically in populating your pack and everything, and then ensuring that your submission is balanced and, you know,
TB balancing,
everything has
etc.
been classified, your disclosure is correct.
Okay. TB
Before
balancing,
uploading your pack, yeah.
disclosures.
Disclosures correct.
Uploading what?
Yeah, uploading your reporting pack. And then
But who
also
prepares that
review
reporting?
of
You
your
prepare
pack,
the reporting
review
pack
of your
as well.
pack, review of your pack for accuracy and yeah.
So you prepare the pack also?
Yes, yes.
Review the pack.
Mhm.
Okay. And prepare and review the pack basically.
Prepare and review that. Obviously, the official review gets done by Friedel, but I mean, obviously, yeah.
Yes. You are part of the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, but I'm part of the process. I can't just send him something that's not right.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I go with, so should I put the same percentages for
Oh,
Nanku as well?
I can't speak on her behalf, unfortunately.
Okay.
You will need to have a session with her.
Okay. Because she was mostly in the leases, lease accounting, etc.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine.
Have you spoken to George
I
yet?
spoke with her,
Oh, okay.
but you know, I was not able to get at that time.
Okay.
I didn't have this
Okay.
kind of spreadsheet because that was
Okay.
initially happened very
Yeah, I
early.
think maybe just to mention, Tracey, we were told, but basically it's just yourself and Friedel that we can talk. Well, I'm not saying we can't
Yeah,
talk to them, but they said we must just
okay.
invite the two of you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and what about George Idol?
George and I, would you say our roles are kind of similar, but he has a very high rating in the reporting stage, I would say, right, Friedel, George? Like the percentage split? Yeah. He says, yeah. So George definitely, because I mean he's an integral cog in the reporting function, so he should have a high percentage there.
Okay.
Barbara does quite a lot. Barbara's, I would say it looks good because she's quite heavy in the beginning, in the close, in your reconciliations, in your charges and stuff like that. And then reporting towards the end, yeah, I would think 15 is a fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and can I put the same Friedel for you as well? Here.
No, I mean, Friedel, hold up. Where is Friedel? Oh, sorry, Friedel's thing is dead. Okay, I'll call him here to my desk. Hold on a second. Friedel.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe reporting he might be more.
Right, so I'm back now. My headset is giving me problems. I'm talking through Tracey's one. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so my first couple of percentages it's way too high. Yeah, I'm right at the
Right. Maybe this 35% or reviewing
No,
all
but I
that.
think you need to find Friedel. You need to go to line 81.
Sorry. Yes. Here it is. So 5%, 5%. And this is high, Friedel, for you. Just help me out with.
Friedel, or I don't know, did you go to Tracey Lee's desk because it's back on mute?
There we go. Sorry. Tracey was on mute. Yeah, 5, and about, I would think the REC's about 10 or 15%.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the balance sits at the intercompany, not much. That's a 5.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reporting is the rest to get it to 100.
Okay.
But yeah.
And
55 or something.
reporting basically is, I should say, review of the reports, correct?
Review, yeah, review function as well as external reporting, as I explained earlier.
Reporting.
Okay, back to Tracey.
So the Friedel, this external reporting requires the coordination with any external parties as well.
Can you what? Sorry, I think he also still has a bit of an issue. I'll call him to my headset. Okay.
Okay. So I'm
Okay,
just trying
sorry,
to.
what's the question? Yes.
Question is, Friedel, the external reporting, etc. Does it require any kind of external coordinations, etc., or any judgmental things?
Well, it's everything and anything, because it all gets worked out according to a timeline, right? So we have to report on a certain timeline, so you work towards that. So obviously there's a lot of coordination and planning and those kind of things with external auditors like PwC involved. Yeah, and judgmental things is, well, that's an audit finding. If there's anything that's mental that needs to be considered. So it all depends on what the outcome of the audit is. Obviously, we're trying to be as accurate as we can be with regard to financial reporting, but you know, auditors are notorious for delving into the deep, trying to find things.
Yes, but you are using some tool or Excel for all this preparation?
I wouldn't say a tool or anything, more of experience, as well as making use of the technical accounting department, Jacques and everybody else with regards to issues.
Okay, and everything is done in Excel, right? Excel.
No. The reporting is done in WDesk.
Which W?
WDesk.
WDesk. Kiri and Penfold. That's yeah.
One word. WDesk.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the reporting tool we use. So data gets extracted basically from HFM. So we go from SAP to HFM, from HFM to WDesk, and reporting out of that.
Okay. And this WDesk is integrated with HFM, or is it manually you have to take a dump?
No, it's integrated. It's got 3 functions straight out of HFM. So it's linked in a way that if the numbers change in HFM and you open WDesk and you refresh the page, it should be populating whatever's sitting in your base system, being the HFM system. It's a reporting tool, so it provides the information the way it should be reported according to accounting standards. You know, your notes, your income statement, balance sheet, those kind of things.
Yeah, and you do this monthly basis, correct?
WDesk is updated quarterly for our specific external reporting needs, but monthly with regards to GRAIM and performance reporting. We spoke about that a little bit earlier, where GRAIM and them have got a lot of involvement in performance management and reporting thereof, and they make use of WDesk, the same system. They've written a whole lot of reports which satisfies their needs with regards to what management wants and how to see, you know what I'm saying?
All right, thank you.
Good.
So let me go to Jacques also.
Jacques is 100% on all of those 7 factors. So he's going to add up to 7.
Oh, no. In fact, the opposite. That's not me. There's another Jacques.
Yeah. So Jacques, you mentioned mostly the tax portion for you, right?
Yeah, correct. So look, I'm going to have to think about this a bit, but I mean, it's essentially your first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns are not applicable to my role. So most of my time spent on either reporting or other.
Other includes
and other meaning tax computations, tax returns, local file, master file, international tax affairs. So, you know, it really isn't. I don't think this discussion focuses on that. Well, that was my understanding.
Yes, that's great, but just trying to understand tax reporting, calculations.
Yeah, so let me just give you a bit more context. So tax reporting meaning we do the reporting that feeds into the annual financial statement. So that's done on a quarterly basis. Right, so that's what we mean by reporting. That's for the group. That's a group function.
Calculations.
Yeah, tax calculations, that's more specific to South Africa. And that's done on a biannual basis. And then there's a tax return preparation that's done on an annual basis. And then we have local file preparation that's done on an annual basis.
Local file prep.
Yeah.
But for this all work, you do some monthly exercises, right? To make sure annual goes right. Is there anything?
Look, so that fits in with the overall transfer pricing. Essentially, what your local file is, it's your transfer pricing policy, right? So it's you're right. It's an annual. It's a monthly. The monthly transactions flow into the local file. Yes. So it's, in other words, it's specific to Ronzard's function, right? And his department where we look at the intergroup services that are rendered. Is the margin we charge on it correct? You know, so it's a. I mean, I don't really get involved on a monthly basis. But we do look at the cumulative effect of all the months. Yes. But there's no monthly action or function that I perform. So, and then you can also add master file. That's also done on an annual basis. So once again, it's. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with these documents, but it's a lot of information we put together. It's submitted to the revenue authorities on an annual basis.
Okay. So mostly our things are annual and quarterly, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 60. So 10 and 60. So should I bump it to 10 and 70, 20, 30 and 70, like that? Is it?
Sorry, I can't really see on you. Which column are you now?
I'm in column P and AF here.
You know, so reporting output is probably 20%, and then the rest is probably the balance of it.
Okay. I think I'm good with this. Let me go back to my taxonomy here just to make sure I have not missed anything. So we covered this and reporting as well. We covered leases. I already covered this. Anything else do you think, Tracey, you have not covered?
At the moment, no, Vaneet, but if I do remember anything, I think I'll be in touch.
Okay, so from your side, just send me the checklist and the templates.
Yes, okay, the long outstanding items, do I need to send that to you because I've showed it to you? Sorry, because I've got active recons long standing item.
You can send it to me. That is fine. There is a
And a copy of my checklist.
checklist and the template of the journals, template of the recon.
Journal template. Yeah, I've got the recon. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I'll write it right.
Alrighty. Excuse
I'll
me.
write it to you also by email as
Oh,
a
okay.
meeting
Awesome.
notes,
Yeah. If you could
etc.
just send me
Yeah.
a.
But still, anything else, Johan? I think you have any question or anything? I think it's good meeting.
No, nothing from my side.
Okay. Perfect. So I'll give back. Frido, from your side, you are good. Anything else?
No, nothing from my side. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm giving back 6 minutes to you. Thank you very much.
Only 6.
Bye.
And
Well,
That's
take
a
it.
break. Okay.
Cheers.
Thank
From my
you.
side, everyone, thank you so much for making time available during this busy period. Really appreciate it.
Oh, pleasure.
Thanks all.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Vadi. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks.